Good morning. Welcome to day 89, Tuesday, July 7th, 2026. So I've got camp packed up, leaving my backpack there for a second or a couple minutes. So the pass doesn't have running water, doesn't have trash cans, but the one thing it does have is a bathroom. So I don't have to dig a cat hole this morning, which is nice. And then we'll get moving. Looks like we're gonna have two 13,000 footers today. Flora Peak and then James Peak. And then we're gonna have a little water carry situation. Water's gonna be scarce. We're gonna be up high, which is great. So I'll be carrying water probably for somewhere between 4 to 6 miles. There's like a nice spring right before James Peak, so that's probably where I'll get my water. There might be some snow melt chances after that, but the reliable water is the spring there, so I'll do that. I think James Peak is a pretty popular day hike, so we'll probably see some day hikers, but yeah, we'll get going in a little bit at our normal time. You know, we had a late day yesterday. Right now I'm feeling pretty good. We'll see how I feel once we start climbing. All right, we're leaving the dirt road and heading on some trail to Flora Peak. Just as I was getting started, another thru hiker I've seen before. I think he was with someone else before. Sprinkles. He stayed in the warming hut where the bathrooms are. I don't think he realized that you could camp not too far away, but the very sad thing, in the bathroom there were overflowing trash cans, so I didn't even bother bringing my trash, but there were Chick-fil-A boxes in the trash. Oh man, I can't stop thinking about Chick-fil-A now. It's cruel to be so close, but so far. Okay, we're climbing up this ridge. I just had a silhouette of sprinkles up there on the ridge line. I don't know if you can see him with the zoom or not. So another cool thing I saw about today is that right around the summit of Mount Flora, we're going to walk on the easternmost point of the CDT. So that's cool. And maybe, depending on the smoke, we get a view of Denver too. So we'll see. What a climb. That's where we came from. You can see the trail heading down to the pass. Looks like we'll have cell service for a while. That's nice. All right, it's a little before 8. We've reached the Mount Flora summit, 13,100 and change. That was a big climb from the pass. Hopefully we mellow out for a bit before we climb up another one. James Peak, I think that's a ways away, so. Very nice up here. Gonna have a little breakfast, get a little energy hopefully, and keep on moving. You can see these rock shelters over here, windbreaks. So it must get windy up here from time to time. Right now, it's not bad. I don't know if I've ever seen one of these that say Bureau of Reclamation. I feel like it's usually Department of Interior or something, USGS. That's interesting. There's no date on it though. It's just here on the summit of Mount Flora. So one other thought before I get going, I guess. It's July, 7th, I think. So like July 7th on my PCT hike, I was in the Northern California section and just in the middle of an oppressive heat wave for like 2 weeks. It just hasn't been like that here. I guess being above 11,000 feet daily, you don't really have the heat wave here. Sarah texted me yesterday that it's supposed to get really hot in Colorado, but I guess at least for now, I'm really not getting that. It's very cool and comfortable. Um, so lucky me, it's good for hiking. It is very smoky and hazy, but a lot of times this all blows out at some point in mid to late morning, so I guess we'll see. It's a cool little lake down there, full of ice still. It's 9 o'clock. We've been making our way down this rock field, but the amount of trail work that went into this is pretty impressive. They basically made a series of switchbacks and made these rock paths that are real stable, flat rocks. Man, I can only imagine the amount of work that went into doing this, but it's, yeah, it's been great. Okay, we just entered the James Peak Wilderness. Just went down a very rocky segment of trail, but the trail construction was really phenomenal. So there should be a stream in about a quarter mile. I'll take a break there. I have filtered water I brought from camp. I'll have Gatorade with that, but then I'll bring some more filtered water now that the sun is out and we're going to be climbing up to James Peak. I'll probably want some more electrolytes further up the way. Okay, we made it to a dirt road junction. Well, I guess we were on Breckenridge Peak as well. Didn't even know. And heading this way. There will be another water source coming. I'll probably stop there, take another break. And I imagine at some point we're going to start climbing. We've been going down for a while. All right, that's James Peak. That's the summit. I can see a trail heading up there. Okay, we're still climbing. Nice view of the lake down below. James Peak up top there. Okay, it's 1:30. I'm just gathering water for camp. There's some thunderstorms happening over there, but where we're headed, James Peak looks pretty good right now, so we're gonna keep going. All right, a little grapple coming in. Hopefully it just lasts for 5-10 minutes and then moves on through. All right, it's 3 o'clock. We've made it to the James Peak summit in a little bit of a storm. Just thunder and grapple, no lightning. Pretty crazy up here. I'll be happy to lose elevation. Yes, let's get off the top of this. Pretty wild. All right, it's about 4:15. Made it to Rogers Pass. I'm hoping there's going to be a couple of road junctions coming up where I can get out of the wind and camp. Fingers crossed on that. That was a storm that just kept going. So at the last trail junction, I'm off the CDT, and I went down a road about a quarter mile. The CDT kept going up. So I found a spot here, and I'll just walk back up to the red line tomorrow. I'm a little sheltered here. After I got everything set up, it was still raining. Now it's like calmed down a little bit, but my hands are super pruny. I'm ready for some hot chocolate, soup, and I'll be back with a recap. Okay, recap time. Did just about 16 miles today to 13,000 footers. Very nice. I definitely felt a lot better today. Had my energy back today. Felt normal today. Unlike yesterday where it was a real struggle. We're camped just shy of 12,000 feet, so we're still pretty high up there. But the storm, at least for now, has moved on. And fingers crossed, not a whole lot of wind. I'm kind of exposed up here, even though I'm off the CDT and on like a road. It might as well be the CDT. It's like the same kind of terrain, and there's no tree line for a while. So, yeah, just gonna hope that there's no big storm. I've got some protection behind me, so hopefully that'll help. But there really hasn't been much wind to speak of, which is nice. Really, really good day today. That storm that came in as I was climbing James Peak lasted a long time. It's nice when they only last like 10-15 minutes. This was like a 2-hour, 2.5-hour storm. And when it was grapple, it was fine. But at some point, as I was losing elevation, it kind of changed over to rain. So I got everything like drying out in the tent. My rain jacket's pretty much dried out. My hoodie, my body heat is drying it out. Yeah, as I was going up like the last few hundred yards to James Peak, not expecting to see anyone. I'd seen a few trail runners and day hikers come down earlier. There was a guy coming down the summit, so I wasn't the only crazy one up there in that storm. There's just like was no viable camping on the other side of James Peak, so I had to go for a while. And this site is okay, but it's it's not great. So that you kind of have to work with what you got sometimes, or hike another like 2-3 hours. So I chose this. Hopefully it works out. See you in the morning.